Hello everyone, this is Dean with the Road Deck Chronicles, and I'm here to present this week's Road Deck of the Week showcase video featuring Glaceon EX. So, as we mentioned in the video, we are pairing Glaceon with non-draw based supporter cards. As a reminder, what Glaceon does, it's a stage 1 Tera water type Pokemon with 270 HP and has 2 attacks. The first one for a water and colorless, it's Frost Bullet for 110 damage, and then we place 30 damage to one of our opponent's bench Pokemon. And then the second attack for a grass, water, and darkness energy is Euclase, which reads knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon that has exactly 6 damage counters on it. So this is another spread-like deck, kind of like last week when we talked about Espeon, but this one's being more precise with how we place our damage counters, so we can use that ultimate KO with the Euclase attack versus just trying to board wipe our opponent like we did with the Espeon deck. One way that we can support Glaceon is with, of course, our buddy Munkidori. I know we've been seeing this card a lot in the videos, but it's so versatile. Has the Adrenabrain ability, where once during a turn, if this card has Darkness Energy attached, which we run, we can move up to 3 damage counters from any of our Pokemon to one of our opponent's Pokemon. So that pairs really well with the Frost Bullet attack, where we can set up the 30 damage and then hope that we get damage back, at least 30, and hopefully we don't get knocked out, and move 30 more and set up for that KO with the Euclase attack. Well, knowing me, I like my buddy Blissey in these decks. This helps with getting the energy around when we need to. Especially we can pull off some funny plays with attaching to the Munkidori, moving the damage counters, and then moving that darkness energy to our Glaceon and using the Euclase attack if we have to. For draw, I like having Bibarel. Usually we get our hand size pretty low, and we can refill it with the Bibarel, and Blissey is also a decent attack, or decent option if we can attack with it. And then for the Eevee, I'm going back to the Colorful Catch. I like the 70 HP. It gets us out of the range for the Dragapult, because that is very common. It's one of the top decks you will see. So we're not going to get one-shotted. I'm moving away from more of the Eevee EX. It's just a big liability, having 200 HP. There's cards that can easily one-shot it, and we are a setup deck. And I also like having the Fezandipiti in here. It's great draw support. Flip the Script is one of the best abilities we have right now. And really, with it being Darkness Pokemon, we can use Cruel Arrow if we are in a bind. We do play cards like Crispin and Glass Trumpet, and with the Happy Switch ability from Blissey, we can move our energies around however we see fit, depending on the matchup. So for items, we have a Buddy-Buddy to set up all our low HP Pokemon, really for the Eevee and the Bibarel. Nest Ball to get everything else, the Munkidori, the Blissey, the Fezandipiti. We play the Tera Orb for the Glaceon, obviously, and then we have the Glass Trumpet for our energy, because Glaceon is a Tera. As long as we have at least one Glaceon in play, we can use the Glass Trumpet to move to our colorless Pokemon, and we play a decent amount. We have the Bibarels, we have the Blissey line. If we have like the Eevee up, we can do that. And then once we get the energy in, we can move our energy around with the Happy Transfer ability. For stadiums, I went with the more damage bound stadiums, since we want to get damage counters and control the damage counters. So for this deck, I have the Calamitous Snowy Mountain. Whenever any player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their basic non-water Pokemon, you put 2 damage counters. The even number is important just because we need to get to exactly 60. And the other one is Gapejaw Bog. Whenever either player puts a basic Pokemon down, you put 2 more damage counters on there. Like I said, we want to keep it on the even side. Plus, it's not bad if we have to put damage on our own Pokemon because we have that Munkidori. So I went with those two, a 2/2 line of each. And then for Disruption, I went with Unfair Stamp for our ace spec in this list. We're not really going for draw. This series in this video is really about how can we disrupt our opponent, place in damage counters, making them be put in a situation where they can't react to us potentially knocking out one of their main attackers or even a multi-prize Pokemon for us while they're kind of struggling. So I like the Unfair Stamp because 270, even though it is kind of big, it's easily one-shottable in this format. So we can follow up with the Unfair Stamp, refill our hand size, get them down to 2, and hopefully they cannot move on from there. Some other cards we have for hand disruption is Iono. Obviously in the early game it's not as impactful, but as we play and get further in the game and they take more prize cards, this will affect their hand size. So we can pair this with Unfair Stamp. And another card I would like to play was the Judge card. We haven't seen this in a while. It used to be very popular. Arceus Judge was a thing, and it's like Iono, but instead of shuffling your hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, you're shuffling all your cards into your deck and drawing 4, so each player gets 4. So yes, 4 is a decent amount in this game, but depending on what you're going against, they may not be able to respond with such a low hand size, or even if you play against like Dragapult, Snorlax, Stall, decks that draw a lot and have a big hand size, even just going down to 4, you're getting rid of all their resources. To cherry pick what we need, we have Crispin, which helps us get our energy, being a Tera Pokemon deck. The energy cost is a little low, or not low, it's weird, because we are playing Grass, Dark, and Water. Not really good acceleration options for those, especially with being a Water Pokemon main attacker. So we play a couple Crispins in here, and then we also play Irida. I like Irida because Glaceon is a Water Pokemon, so we can get our Glaceon whenever we want, and then get an item card. So depending on the situation, maybe an Ultra Ball, Night Stretcher, the Unfair Stamp is included in there. Whatever we see fit, Irida can help us get what we need. Play a couple boss, that way we can kind of set up our damage the way we want. Maybe bring up a Fezandipiti or Squawkabilly, Luminion, something where it's going to cost some resources to get out of the active spot. Or even if we can knock out and put the 30 on another Pokemon to knock out, we can get 2-3 prize cards that way too. And then obviously Professor's Research, as we mentioned last week's episode, drawing 7 is such a good effect. And if you play this early on a couple of my test games, I had a couple energy in my hand, used Professor's Research, and then play Glass Trumpet. I was able to put that energy back into play. So I was able to put 3 energy into play versus just manually attaching 1. So depending on what you have in your hand and how you want to play it, Professor's Research is always a good option. And then for the energy lineup, I have 4 Darkness, 3 Grass, and 4 Water. I went a little heavier on the Darkness and Water because 1, Water is our main attack. We need that for the Frost Bullet attack. And then with the Darkness, I like having enough in play so I can set up 1 or even both Munkidoris. And then I don't have to worry about my Glaceons. And then Grass, 3 Grass is enough. Glaceon's the only Pokemon that really needs it. Blissey is all colorless, so we can make our way around that. But as I mentioned, this is more of like a spread-like deck, not as much as Espeon, but using that you place attack, we can try to get these nice one-shots. I was able to do this a couple games with 2 prizers in my warm-up matches, and getting it set up in their main 2 prizers is really satisfying. Obviously, we may see this maybe more play once we get those new Mega Evolutions, get 3 prize cards. So we'll see. Obviously, that's way off in the future, but gotta mention that we saw those at Pokemon Day. So something to think about when you play a 3 prize card about decks like this, where you can easily set up these knockouts, and this can put a lot of pressure onto our opponent if they can't respond properly. So I have my Evolution coffee mug here, and I'm ready to start it this morning and play some matches with Glaceon EX. Okay everyone, we are queuing up into our first game of this video. So we chose heads, we won the coin flip, so we are going to choose first. We are a very setup dependent deck because we are an evolution deck. We're not relying on the basics in the intro. And we're mulliganing, but so is our opponent, so we'll get to see what they're playing. So our mulligan, they see that we're playing Glaceon, but not a lot of people know what this card does. And they're playing Dragapult, so this is going to be our chance to see how this fares up with a more meta type deck. Dragapult is very popular, one of the top decks in this format right now. So we're starting with the Munkidori, and they're playing Cornerstone Ogerpon. Interesting. Very interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna get an Eevee out because we have the Glaceon. I'm gonna attach the Glaceon or to the Eevee, and we're just gonna pass. Luckily, our Glaceon can hit into this Ogerpon because our Glaceon does not have an ability, but our Blissey's do. So we need to try to set up the Eevees and the Glaceons as much as possible. We'll see how they go. So this is not a traditional Dragapult deck. I'm wondering if that Dragapult was just more for draw, and this is actually something totally different, but they do play the Fire Psychic Energy, so I'm very interested to see what this match is and what they're playing. So the good thing is the Cornerstone Ogerpon's attack doesn't hit for weakness, so they're only hitting for 140 at most into our Chanseys, which typically a fighting type attack will hit for weakness, but because of the added text, it's not. So they are 3-shotting us, even if we don't heal off damage with Munkidori. So we get the Dreepies out, so they are playing a Dragapult-like deck, but this is an interesting one for sure. So we get another Eevee. We have a very slow matchup here. I'm just gonna put on here because I can't really retreat, and I'd rather have other energy on the Glaceon. So I'm just gonna end my turn. We're both having a slow setup here. I wish I had a way to get this Munkidori out of the active, because I would have attacked and set up some damage and try to go for a 2-shot or something. So we're just going to see how we do. So they're getting their draw engine set up. So their draw engine is more on the Pokemon side than it is with using supporters. So Dragapult tends to use other types of supporters. So they play Crispins, Judges, Hand Disruption, Ionos, versus playing Professor's Research and the typical draw. So they got the Dragapult EX, so they either have a rare candy in hand or they're just getting set up for next turn. So they use that Crispin that we talked about. So they're getting their Dragapult set up for next game. Oh, they're playing a bulky version. This is definitely an interesting deck, for sure. And they're going to use TM Evolution. So they got the Dragapult out, and hopefully they'll get another Dracloak, and then they have that Dragapult in hand for their next turn. So they're in a very good spot. We have a lot of catching up to do. So we have Buddy-Buddy, so we can at least get our board more set up, better than what that we need. So we're gonna grab Bidoof. The problem is they can knock out our Bidoofs. So that's why I want to get two. We got two Glaceons. We don't really need two Bidoofs, so we're going to more or less give up one. And we'll just end our turn. We don't really have much else. I could burn the Tera Orbs, but there's no point right now. I can wait until we get a Bibarel in play, or I can shuffle these to the bottom of the deck like Iono, or something else. So this is very interesting. I've never seen the Ogerpon. I'm wondering what this is for. And they're probably going to retreat the Ogerpon because it does have a single retreat cost into the Dragapult, and they're just going to start hitting. They're going to get two prize cards this turn. They're going to take out that Munkidori and the Bidoof, play another Crispin, so we know our bench is safe. So I'm wondering if they're going to get the other Dragapult going too. Yes, that's what they're doing. So they're this interesting version of Dragapult is working for them. Unfortunately, our list is not working for us. And interesting that they chose to use Switch. I would have probably just given up that energy, because in this matchup you probably don't need attack with the Ogerpon. You can probably get away with just doing the Dragapults over and over again because they're so tanky and beefy. So we need to have a really decent top deck here to even stay in the game. So we got research, that's perfect. So we'll get rid of these Tera Orbs and see what we get. Interesting, okay. Doesn't really help us too much. I can set up the Frost Bullet at least. Calamity Snowy Mountain's not going to do anything because they don't have any bench Pokemon in play. So there's no need to get that. Tempted to get the Night Stretcher from the Munkidori just to have that going. Yeah, I want to do that and get the Munkidori. Or yeah, I'd rather have the Bidoof, that way we can have some draw if we can draw into it. I know we're giving them some prizes, but we need to get our board set up. So we're just going to Frost Bullet and just hope that we can get going here. I'm going to put on the Dragapult. Oh, I forgot. Bench Barrier. So that's know what your cards do. Forgot that Tera Pokemon cannot take damage on the bench, and we're not putting damage counters, we're doing damage. So learn from my mistake here. Know what you're doing. I knew I should have put it on the Ogerpon. I was just being a little greedy. So they're going to attack. They're going to take out one of the Bidoofs. Luckily, we're not going to get knocked out this turn, but he's getting set up for an easy 3 prizes next turn if we can't evolve this Bidoof into a Bibarel. So another stadium. It's not really helpful. I'm going to choose Iono versus Judge because I need to see more cards and limit their card size. So we are going to Iono. Okay, so we're a little safe for next turn. Gonna put energy on this Glaceon. Do we have energy in the discard? We do not. So I want to grab the Munkidori. That way we can start moving stuff around. Well, Industrious Incisors. If we had a Chansey, that would be great, but we don't have a Chansey. And I haven't really looked through my deck at all. I probably should have, and I didn't. So that's on me. So we're just going to Frost Bullet, and I'm going to learn from my mistake and not put the damage on the Cornerstone. And I'm an idiot. I keep forgetting Cornerstone's also Tera. So this is a very bad matchup for us. We cannot use Euclid's attack at all. The only thing saving us right now is that they're not taking 3 prizes. They still can only take 2 at the very most. So this is just one of those matchups. Tera Pokemon and the bench barrier is a total counter to what we would like to do. And we're still not even knocking this dude out because of the Hero's Cape. So this may be something where we just let them win. Don't concede. I'm not a big fan of conceding if I don't have to. I could play Glass Trumpet, but I don't see a need. I'd rather just Iono and see what we can do. Limit their hand size. Even though they can take out the Munkidori. Play Nest Ball, see if our Fez is in the deck. It is. Maybe we can try to get a Dark Energy into play and try and heal this Fezandipiti a little bit. So let's try to go for that and give us another turn. And we do not get it. We're just going to attack. Doesn't matter where we put this energy because it's going to be blocked. And if we didn't have that Hero's Cape, we would have got that knocked out. But that Hero's Cape is so strong in this deck. And that's game. They're going to take out that Munkidori. They don't really need to do anything else here. So, unfortunately, that's how it works. Dragapult's just a really strong deck. And we just didn't have the draw that we really get with this deck. So, we'll move on. We'll go to a second game. And we'll see how this pairs up on the casual ladder. Okay, everyone, we are queued up into our next game here with Glaceon EX. First game didn't go our way. We're going to see how this works this time around. We just need to have a decent setup. Once we have a way where we can get our board filled up by turn 1 or 2, we should be good. We're having some slow draws. So we're not mulliganing, so that's good. They are, though, but we are not. Did they say they're going first or second? They're going second, so we're going first. That's good. So we can get set up here. Did they not take a mulligan? I guess they didn't need a mulligan. Okay, so they're playing Charizard. So let's get our bench set up. We actually have a decent hand for this. So we have 2 Eevees, a Bidoof. I want to get a Chansey out. I'll get the Munkidori. And I'm going to attach to the Eevee, and we should be all set. So, as we mentioned, we got our board established. Hopefully, they don't do anything to disrupt it. If it's a true Charizard deck, they won't. They're probably going to go Arven, or even Iono, just to see more cards and get their setup. Typically with these decks, another Dragon Pull deck. So this is Dragon Pull Charizard. So this is a mashup of some of the top 2 decks. So we'll see how this goes. Interesting that they chose to attach to Dreepy, but I get it. The Charizard can accelerate energy to itself, so you don't necessarily need to put energy on there to get going. Unfair Stamp. Okay, that's not really going to help us with this. I wish we had a water energy, because I can easily knock that out. So we're going to play Artisan. We're going to try and get something else on our bench. We got 2 Eevees, Chansey. I want to get another Bidoof down. That way we can draw next turn. And then I want a Tera Orb for the Glaceon. I want to choose to evolve the bench Eevee. I don't see this thing surviving. And then I can actually use that to get energy into my hand. So I'm going to put it on to Glaceon. And then we'll Colorful Catch and search for 3 basic energy of different types. So we get our energy, put it into our hand, and we have what we need for next turn. So this is going better than our first game. At least we got a board set up. At least we're going. Now we just need the evolution Pokemon. So we just need to hopefully get into a draw support. I'm kind of hoping they knock out this Eevee, and we can use Unfair Stamp against them and see more cards. Because if this gets knocked out, my game plan... Oh, they didn't do anything. So interesting. Interesting. It's not how I saw this going. This puts us in a pickle. What do we want to do? So I'm going to attach to the active Eevee. And as much as I hate doing this, I'm just going to Professor's Research just so I can see things. Okay. So we can Glass Trumpet because we do have a Tera in play. So we're going to Glass Trumpet to Chansey and one of the Bidoofs. Stadium doesn't really help us right now. We can headbutt for 20, but that's not really going to do much in this. So we're just going to Colorful Catch again. Get some energy from our hand. So we need to try to get that grass energy. It looks like our grass energy is prized. So we have 1, 2. So we have 1 prized. So if this gets knocked out, then we use Night Stretcher to get the grass energy. Hopefully we can get a Blissey EX out so we can start moving some things around. You know, they're going slow. I think they're just waiting for us to do the first move here. So let's see, what do we do? I'm going to be a little risky, and I'm going to get this Eevee set up. So if we get the Glaceon, we can start putting damage around. So we're going to Judge, even though they're not really doing the best. We need something more, though. So that's the tough decisions you have to do sometimes, and this didn't work out in our favor at all. We're not getting our evolutions. So with that, don't want to call for catch because I'm not sure I'll get anything else. Do we headbutt and just get damage on? Because they're not really moving damage off. We're just going to headbutt and hopefully we can try to get damage on this Charmander. Maybe set up for a later play. I'm not sure if this is going to be relevant or not. So we helped them out. But that was a risk we needed to take, and this is just a very consistent, very good deck. But we're doing okay. We're just not getting our evolution Pokemon. So our board is set up. As soon as we get something, we're good. We got what we want. So they're going to Arven. So if they get TM Evo, I'm thinking they're just going to try to get their board set up this turn. But if they grab a rare candy, that means they either have the Dragapult in hand or they don't. So they get Tera Orb and a Rescue Stretcher. That's interesting. So they're going to go into Dragapult. So the problem is, as we saw from the first game, once they get the Charizard and a Dragapult out, we can't put damage counters on those Pokemon. At least not from the attack. What is going on with our hand here? We're stuck like crazy. So I'm just going to put energy on the Glaceon. I'm just going to headbutt again. See if 40 means something for us. Probably should have started headbutting earlier. That way that can get the 60 and I can just leave it alone. Because even if it's Charizard EX, the U-Place goes through, so that could be a 2-prizer for us. So we'll see where we go with this, or where they go too. So this is just a much closer game than I was expecting. It's just neither of us are doing anything. And this is the weird thing. So they're getting the Dragapult set up. So they're going to go into a Dragapult. They're going to take out the Eevee finally. So if we can get Fezandipiti out, which we have a Nest Ball in hand for that, that'll be perfect. They're probably going to take out one of the Bibarels, which is probably be the one with the energy on there, which is fine. We have Night Stretcher and we have Glass Trumpet to get that back into play. That's not an issue. We just need to find these cards. So we'll see what they do. I'm guessing they're going to Phantom Dive. Oh, so I'm going to take out the Munkidori. Okay. That does slow us down a little bit. I believe I have another one in my deck. I'll double check when I Nest Ball. Because I'd rather... Oh, I have Fez in hand, so I can Nest Ball. Because they're going to take out 2. Yeah, so I can Nest Ball and use Fez in the same turn. So they got 2 prizes. We'll promote our Glaceon. Because we're just 1 grass energy away, which... Ooh, we don't have that. So... we're going to Nest Ball for the other monkey. We're going to get Fez. So I can either get a water Pokemon and get the other Glaceon out and then an item card. But what item card will we need? Let's Fez first and see what we grab. And then we use Irida. Okay, so we got Bibarel. We can either boss something up so we can take... We can actually take 2 prizes this turn. I kind of like that idea. Granted, we're not going to do anything with the Dragapult, but we can get even out on the prize cards. So, I like that. So, we're going to do the Drag Cloak. I'm just going to play in a mountain, that way I can draw more with Bibarel. So let's draw some more. Okay, so we'll evolve up our Eevee, get that into a Glaceon. Don't really, where do I want to put this water energy? I want to put it on the Chansey, because I can get this as an attacker as well. And then we're just going to Frost Bullet, and we'll take out the Dragapult and the Charmander. Get 2 prize cards. And then that way we also take out the Sparkling Crystal in the play. So the only way they're getting that back is if they play Silene or Roseanne's backup, and historically, this deck does not play either of those cards. So we have Iono for next turn. We got a Grass Energy that we are missing, so that's perfect. Because they're not one-shotting us. The only way they were going to one-shot us is if they get a Charizard in play. And even then, I believe they're only doing 240. Because they start with 180, and it's 30 damage for every prize card your opponent has taken. So 240 is the max. So if we can get a Blissey in play, I can start manipulating damage a little bit better. I can also use the Blissey as an attacker, because that does 180, and that can 2-shot the Dragapult versus the Glaceon can only 3-shot. So let's see. Because I can't put damage counter or damage on the Dragapults. Okay, they're bossing us again, so that's their second boss. They're afraid of that Munkidori. They are afraid of our Munkidori, which I don't blame them because this can set up our math so well. So at this point, we're not going to care about it. We're not going to worry about this play. It's going to hinder us a little bit, but this has actually been a very good matchup. Last game we got destroyed by Dragapult, so I'm glad that we're able to do something here. So they're going to spread out the damage. So I'm going to promote the fresh Glaceon, because now we have that Grass Energy. Ultra Ball, so that's perfect. So we're going to Ultra Ball away the Buddy-Buddy, because we don't need that. And I'll do the Irida, because we have Iono. Iono is going to be better for us. We'll grab the Blissey. And we'll evolve the Blissey. I'm going to put the Grass Energy on the Glaceon. And I'm going to Iono. Get their hand size down to 3. Yes, we get 4, but we have Fez and Bibarel. So we have a decent draw. And we get Glass Trumpet here too. Let me look at my... So both... Yeah, so we kind of needed a Night Stretcher, which we haven't used any yet. So we could try to get that and get the Munkidori back into play. So let's try for that right now. No, we did not get that. Okay, no worries. So, let's see. Going to Ultra Ball away the Gapejaw and that. At the very least, we're going to thin out something here. What do we want to grab? I'm just going to fill that because there's really nothing we want to grab. And then when I play Tera, just fill that as well. And then we'll incisors for 2. Okay. So I'm just going ahead and I'm going to Frost Bullet and try to set up either the Charizard or the Fez. Probably the Fez, because I can still put damage on there later on. Because as soon as that thing evolves, we can't. And we're not doing the Munkidori play at all. So I'm actually kind of happy with this matchup, even though I don't think we're going to take it at the end, to be honest. But this is how the deck is supposed to play. We're playing the slower game. We got our board set up, we have our draw set up. Like, this is actually going really well for us. It's just going better for our opponent, but it's going well for us with what we're going against. So we got an Iono and we got a boss. So they're going to attack into us. They're not going to take out... They're not going to take any prizes this turn, which is good on our end. We won't be able to Fez, but we can try to thin our hen down a little bit to get the Bibarel in use. So they're setting this up for them to get easy prizes. They already used 2 boss. I don't remember how many bosses they do play. So let's see. I'm actually going to play Buddy-Buddy just to see what's in our hand. Or what's in our deck. Because we're getting low. So we do have a Night Stretcher. Okay. We're going to fail that because we don't want anything from there anyway. Because I kind of want to try and find a way to get the Munkidori in play. Because if we can get an easy 2 prize KO on that Fez, I would love to do that. How much damage is this? 210, so we're not taking that. Oh, we could take that out too. So I want to get the Blissey. I'm going to use Iono. Trying to find that Night Stretcher for us. And there we go. So we can either take the KO on the Fez or take KO on the Dragapult. So we're going to take Night Stretcher, get the Munkidori, play the Munkidori. What energy do we have in our discard? So that actually works out perfect. Just get that into play. We will happy switch the Darkness energy onto the Munkidori. And then we will Incisors for 3. We will Adrenabrain. I'd rather get it off of here. Because that gets us into perfect. So we're going to retreat using the... I'm going to say the grass energy. Get the Blissey in play. And we're going to get the KO. And then we hopefully can get the cheeky knockout on the Fez. So we're going to draw. It's always good to get something. So this is much closer than I was expecting. So playing and placing the damage on the right time matters so much with this deck. So with having the Munkidori in play, and we have Night Stretcher, so if we can survive this next turn, we can try to get the Euclid's play and get game. Because they need to either use Toro on this thing, Penny. They need to get that damage off. So we'll see how they play this out. I'm not sure they see that or not. Because right now, there's no way for them to take 3 prizes. So we'll see. Because they need to take out that Munkidori. And I'm not sure if they have enough gusting to do that. Because they use their gust very early on. And they also don't typically play Munkidori of their own. So that's not another way to get that damage off. They need to use a recovery card like we talked about. So either Toro, Penny, excuse me, something like that. I'm thinking they're trying to go for the Charizard play here. Get the 2 prizes on my Blissey, but even then, I still have Pokemon set up to get that Fezandipiti. So we'll see how they approach this. I do need to retreat this, but I think I'm in a decent enough spot to where I can get this going. So we'll see how they get their So yeah, they're not taking any prizes. So let's do this slowly. We are going to Adrenabrain. Doesn't really matter where we take the damage off, and we're going to put it on the Fez. Make that exactly 60. We are actually going to attach the Blissey, retreat the Blissey, promote the Glaceon, and we're just going to Euclase and get the last 2 prize cards. So I can't believe we pulled this off against Charizard Dragapult. This is amazing. I'm totally surprised. So we got 1 win and 1 loss under our belt. So let's see how game 3 goes. I'm really surprised how that worked out, but you can see how placing damage in the right time and the right Pokemon matters. Granted, our options are limited when it comes to Tera Pokemon, but we are able to be bulky enough and beefy enough to where we can do this and achieve the win condition. So we'll go off to game number 3, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, everyone, we are getting queued up into our next game here with Glaceon EX. So we're going to choose heads. We're flipping the coin. So opponent will choose if they're going to go first or second. So the last 2 matches we have gone against Dragapult of different variety. So we'll see if we go against something different or if all 3 games will just be against Dragapult. So we're going to mulligan. They're not really going to see what we're playing. They'll see whether we have a Dark Energy, but again, we're playing something off the wall. So whatever we do, they're probably not going to expect what we flip over once we actually get a basic. So they're getting set up here. We'll see what they're playing. We take 1 mulligan. Okay, I'm going to start off with the Eevee just because that's what we want to do. We're going second, so I'm going to play both Eevees. I don't want to get a donk here. So we'll see what we go against. I'm not expecting to play Cloth because not a lot of people do that. So we're going against Charizard, and this looks like traditional Charizard Pidgeot. So we need to try to get damage on the board quick, because once those Charizards get into the EX form, we can't place damage on them, but we can place damage on their supporting Pokemon. Okay, so we'll play the Munkidori. I'm trying to think what we want to do. I'm gonna put energy on the Eevee. That way we can at least get that going. I'm just gonna judge. I don't know what's in their hand, but we can at least get them down to 4. Okay, this is pretty decent for us. Get a Blissey. I wish we had a Bibarel or a Bidoof in our hand, but we'll play Gapejaw because they'll probably need to put energy in play, and we'll just do Colorful Catch, get our energy into our hand, and see what they do in response. They need to get this Pidgey out of the active, which they can do once they get to Pidgeot EX. It does have free retreat, but with 5 cards, they need to figure out how they do that. Okay, so what are they going to grab? Because if one of those cards is a rare candy, it's going to be tough. To me, this shows that they got rare candy, and of course, they got rare candy. It's Charizard. They always have rare candy, right? So they'll Pidgeot. They'll probably get a supporter for their turn. And then they'll get a Charizard, or if they have another rare candy, they may just go. Okay, so they're going Arven. So I'm guessing they're probably going to get rare candy and Defiance Band, I think. Sometimes they'll get the Technical Machine. I will say maybe in this case Evolution. Get that into Charmeleon if they're kind of in a tough spot. Forest Seal. Okay, so they're probably getting a Rotom or a Lumineon. Probably a Rotom. You don't want a Lumineon onto your bench because then you can't use the ability. So Rotom, okay. And then they're going to get what they need. So the cool thing about Rotom is that that card is most likely going to stay in play the whole entire time. They play maybe one Professor Churro scenario, and they typically want to use that on their Charizard because that's their main attacker. No one's really gunning down their support Pokemon, but we are. We want to try to get those easy prize cards. So we'll see what they got. If they just pass. Oh, so they're just passing. So if we can gun down this Charmander and get an early prize, that would be great. With our hand though, I don't think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, we need to play boss to do that, and with how we're doing, I don't think that's going to happen. So we're just going to get our Eevee ready. Yeah, we're just going to judge. Disrupt them, get us a fresh set, hopefully, something doable. Okay. Not what I was looking for, but this could help. Let's get a Nest Ball. We don't have any more Chanseys. But we can use this as an opportunity to get a Bidoof. Okay, and play Buddy-Buddy. Get another... We'll get another No, let's get another Bidoof because we have another Eevee in play. And we're just going to colorful catch. We'll get some energy in our hand and get set up for next turn. If this gets knocked out, we'll at least get the energy into the discard. Then Glass Trumpet can work if we can get a Glaceon this turn. So they place down Gapejaw Bog, they get the damage. It didn't go off for us because we didn't place it from our hand to the bench. We used cards like Nest Ball and Buddy-Buddy. So that protects our bench. They need those cards to protect them. They didn't. So we have 20 damage on that Charizard, which is good for now. We can try to move damage on there and get to that 60. So that helps us out. It's a little less for us to do. They get a Charizard EX, so they're going to get that set up. They're going to take out our Eevee. The good thing with Charizard is we know they're only doing one Pokemon at a time because they don't have a snipe option like Dragapult. So Eevee's gone. Hopefully we can get Glaceon going. So let's see. I will promote the new Eevee. And we need to get a lot going for us. Crispin. Not exactly what I wanted to see. I hate using research and discarding all this energy, but I feel like we have to. Yeah, we'll have to. Okay, so we got pieces. So we're going to get Bibarel. We will get Blissey. We are going to get our Glaceon into play. We are now going to Glass Trumpet and get stuff going. So we are going to attach to the Glaceon. Night Stretcher. What do we want a Night Stretcher? I want a Night Stretcher actually, because we're getting low on the water energy. I want to get that back into my deck because I'm going to use Unfair Stamp now. So this is the first time we are able to use this card. We're going to limit our opponent to 2 prizes, or 2 cards in hand, while we get 5. So we are setting up really well actually. So I'm going to play this just to thin out our hand a little bit. Use Industrious Incisors. Okay, so we're kind of done with what we can do. We will Happy Switch. And what's on our board? Okay, so we have Darkness Energy, so we can happy switch here. And let's just Frost Bullet, and we'll put more damage on... we'll put it on the Charmander. It's already there. We only need to move 10 damage on there. So even if they evolve, we can do that with Munkidori and get easy 2 prize cards that way. And they play Manaphy thinking we snipe. We don't necessarily... Well, we snipe a little bit. So now we really need to worry about using Munkidori effectively. We are 3-shotting the Charizard. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. We can get that Charizard into easy place range and not necessarily worry about getting this Charizard out. Yes, it does hurt us, but we're getting 2 prizes one way or another. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually attach the Munkidori. And then we're going to use a Brain. I'm not worried about that 20. We're just going to take 10 and put it on there. And that's it, because we can only attach 1 Pokemon. So they don't really have a hand. So we can be a little cheeky here. We can play Boss and bring up that Manaphy, because we don't really need to do much. Well, Industrious Incisors. Get another Night Stretcher. Don't think we need anything Night Stretcher wise right now, so we're fine. Actually, I'm gonna use it to get an Eevee. We need to get a backup attacker going. So we'll get an Eevee. Put that onto our bench. And I can Gapejaw, because we're not really gonna attach to basic anymore. So we'll just get rid of that stadium. We will use Industrious Incisors, get 2 more cards. We can actually get some more energy into play. So do that, and I'll put 1 here, save the Darkness Energy. And then we will happy switch onto our Glaceon here, and then we will Euclase and get rid of that Charizard. Get 2 prizes. They need to either have a switch or an energy. They have to use resources to get this Manaphy out of play. So if we would have left our bench space open, we could have tried to use Lucky Bonus and get another prize card for free. Because what Lucky Bonus says that if you took this from your face down prize cards, you flip a coin. If it heads, you take 1 more prize. But that helps our opponent. So maybe in this case, having that card isn't the best. But we had a full bench, so it doesn't matter. So they're going to Pidgeot. So they're either going to get an energy, they're going to get something to disrupt me, they're going to get something to... Yeah, so they got energy. And they... So Luminous, retreat, they're going to get Charizard into play and take us out, which is fine. That's why I wanted to get another Eevee going, or even the Blissey, because they can't really one-shot Blissey. So, and I can actually get that attack off this turn, I believe. So, I'm going to... I want to promote the Blissey. We'll try to get some damage onto there. Okay. We're going to Adrena Brain onto the Charizard. I don't think I can take that out. I'm 20 short. So unless I get another Munkidori, actually even then I can't. Oh, yes, I could. If I get another Munkidori, I could potentially do that. But I'm not sure if I could or should. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to get ready to attack with the Blissey. I'm going to Iono. Should I Iono? Yeah, I'm going to Iono. See what we get. Okay. I want to try and see if we have the Fez in our deck. We do not, actually. But getting the other Chansey isn't a bad idea, because that Chansey is going to go bye-bye soon. So, we'll Industrious Incisors. We get a Tera Orb for the Glaceon. That way, I can't get one-shotted. I'm going to use Incisors again. So this is actually a lot closer than I was expecting. We're going to Happy Switch onto the Blissey. And we're going to hit it. We're not knocking it out, but ideally, I would like to use Munkidori next turn to just place damage on there, knock it out, and then work on something else. Because right now, they don't have another attacker set up. So they need to get another Charmander going. If not, they are going to be behind just board-wise. And also in prizes. So yeah, they got something else going. So I knew that that's what they were going to do. And they're going to Iono us, which is fine. We play Bibarel, so we have plenty of draw if we need it. Yeah, and they're just going to try to hit us. So we can get that, get him out, and also try to get, and we got boss. And they scooped. They knew we got it. We're too far ahead. So we're able to place damage counters on the Pokemon when we needed it. And we ended up with a 2-1 record. So, able to defeat a Dragapult deck and a Charizard deck with Glaceon. That is fantastic. So I'm glad this worked out for us and that we were able to really show off what Glaceon can do. Okay everyone, well that was our Glaceon Rogue deck showcase for this week. I'm glad that we were able to get Glaceon working the last 2 games. The first one was a little rough, but you saw the potential with the first one. And then with the second deck, you saw how it worked, how the Blissey really paired with the Glaceon, being able to move our energy around and utilizing our resources as much as possible. I was glad in the last game we were able to utilize Unfair Stamp. They took us out, we used it, and it slowed them down enough to where we were able to catch up from behind and ultimately having the opponent concede to us. So placing damage counters, it's fun. It is definitely a skill to learn. That's not something I typically am good with these type of decks. It is very patience. You really need patience for a deck like this, and really knowing how to map out your prizes, and hopefully your opponent can't keep up with how you are mapping it out. So thank you for watching. Let us know what you think of Glaceon, what cards you would include, take out. Let us know how you would adjust this deck. Obviously we're learning how to build these right along with you, so if you have any suggestions, let us know. We can try them out, and maybe in the future we can revisit a deck like this once some of these cards rotate, and we can update it and make it even better. So let us know. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, take a listen to our podcast, which releases every Thursday. Me and Devin, we like talking about Pokemon, and if you want to listen to us kind of ramble about that, like our video and take a listen to the podcast. And as a reminder, our Rogue Deck Showcase videos come out every Friday as well. So let us know if you want to see other content, and maybe that's something we can work out in the future. But thank you for watching this, and enjoy playing those sneaky decks, and have a good week, y'all.